Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. Thank you for joining in. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyade Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, we are continuing our discussion from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We are on Canto 12. Today we'll be completing this wonderful discussion on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. In the last class, we heard Uddhava wonderful question answers. Uddhava, he asked many wonderful questions. Krishna replied all of them. Then Krishna, he orchestrated this wonderful pastime of annihilation of this entire dynasty of himself. And after that, we heard how just a minute. We heard some of the wonderful stories, how the dynasties of the Kali-yuga began, and we completed the second chapter of the 12th canto. Third chapter is entitled Bhūmi-gītā. In this Bhūmi-gītā, Mother Earth laughs on the various kings of this world. The end of the last chapter mentioned that foolish people, they try to control the earth. And this is enlarged in this third chapter. So Shukadeva Goswami, he continues speaking. Drishtvatmani jaye vakran ripan sati puriyam ahoma vijigishanti mrityo kriyananakan ripah. When Mother Earth saw that the kings of this world, they are busy trying to conquer her, she laughed. She said, oh, just see, these kings, they're actually playthings in the hands of the Lord of the death, but still they're trying to conquer me. It is so very wonderful. The life of everybody in this world is like bubble. It doesn't last long. Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talmal, but still they are busy conquering. They are thinking, oh, first I'll conquer my mind, then I'll conquer then I subdue my kings and other ministers, and then I'll subdue the entire earth. And therefore, they cannot see that death is nearby. They are doing lots of tapasya, lots of sense control to do all this. But what is the use of all this sense control? Because all this sense control is not taking them closer to God. In this way, many men have come, many kings have come, and they have passed. And all of them, they think, oh, this land is mine, this is yours, and this is foolish mentality. So many kings have come. Mother Earth, she takes the name of all the big kings Prithu, Pururava, Gadhi, Nahusha, Bharata, Arjuna, Mandhata, Sagara, Rama, that is Lord Ram, Khatvanga, then Raghu dynasty, Sharyati, Shantanu, Bhagirath, Kakutsa, Nishada, Riga, so many kings. And then she takes the name of all the demons also. Hiranyakashipu, then Naraka, Bali, Shambhara, Namuchi, Hiranyaksha, they all have come and they have all gone. They have not understood that the actual purpose, the essence is the discussion of the Supreme Lord's pastimes. That's the ultimate purpose. But they don't understand this ultimate purpose. Srila Prabhupada writes, since all the narrations of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam brings the reader to the perfection of transcendental knowledge, they all give supreme spiritual lessons. Although the Bhagavatam we heard in the 9th canto, so many kings are described, but still, these kings ultimately, they describe, they show by their actions what to do, and some kings, they show what not to do. Ultimately, all for bringing us closer to the Supreme Lord. Yastuttama shloka gunanuvada sangiyate bhikshnam amangalagna tameva nityam shrunayada bhikshnam krishne amalam bhaktirabhipsamana. Uttama shloka gunanuvada. One should hear the narrations of Lord Uttama shloka. Sangiyate. One should sing abhikshnam continuously. Because these narrations, they are amangala ghna. They are destroyers of all the inauspiciousness. Therefore, nityam shrunuyad abhikshnam. Continuously you chant and hear also. If you want Krishna amalam bhakti abhipsamana. If you want unalloyed devotion unto lotus feet of the Lord, please hear the glories of the Lord. So the 4 points should be understood. Hear about the great devotees of the Lord. Chakravarti Thakur writes this. Hear about the great devotees of the Lord. Hear about the Lord's eternal associates. Hear the Bhagavatam and hear 10th canto. These 4 are very, very powerful. Parikshit Maharaj asks another question. Oh, Shukdev Goswami, can you please tell me how persons living in Kali-yuga will be free from all the contaminations? Because Kali-yuga is full of faults. Can you please explain the different ages, the characteristics of the ages, their duration? So he's asking same thing again. Previously, it was described by the Karbhajan Rishi and Chamasa Rishi, but still he's asking again. Shukdev Goswami continues. Satya-yuga, it is characterized by the age of truth. It is Tretā-yuga. Tretā-yuga means all the legs of religion are intact. Whatever they do, whatever they desire, they do and they get perfection. Tretā-yuga. Santushta, Karuna, Maitra, Shanta, Danta, Titikshava, Atma, Rama, Samadrisha, Praya, Prayasha, Śrāvaṇa Jana. The qualities of the people of Kali-yuga are, they are Santushta, they are pacified, they are Karuna, they are compassionate, Danta, self-controlled, Shanta, Dama, they are sense-controlled, they are mind-controlled, they are self-satisfied, they are tolerant, they work hard to attain the purpose of life. In Tretā-yuga, the leg of religion is reduced by 1/4. In this age, the people, they are still very peaceful, still devoted. The 4 legs of religion which reduce are described as lying. That means Satyam, Shaucham, Shama, and Daya. We heard yesterday. These are the 4 legs of religion. Truthfulness, peacefulness, Satyam, Shaucha, cleanliness. Shama means tolerance. And Daya, mercy. All these are reduced. People of Tretā-yuga, they are devoted to rituals, they perform lots of sacrifices, they are not violent or lusty, they engage in dharma, artha, kama, and mostly they are brahmanas. In Dvāpara-yuga, the religious principles are reduced to 1/2. the process of worship the Lord is deity worship. Attaining the Lord is deity worship. People, they have still very noble qualities. They are interested in glory. They are devoted to the Vedas. They are very opulent. In Kali-yuga, only 1/4 is remaining, and that is also reducing by every day. Kalena balina rajanam kshattayu balam smriti. Everything is reducing. People of Kali-yuga, tasmin labdha durachara nirdaya shushkavairina durbhaga bhuri tarshascha shudra dasuttara praja. People of Kali-yuga, they are greedy, lubdha, durachara, they are very wicked, ill-behaved, nirdaya, no compassion, shushka tarka, they are just interested in dry logic, fight for very petty reasons, shushka vairina also. Small reasons people fight. In local trains, so 4th seat के लिए भी fight होता है. Shushka vairina. Durbhaga, they are unfortunate. And therefore, they are all Shudras. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Satya-yuga, Tretā-yuga, Brahmanas. Dvāpara-yuga, Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. In Kali-yuga, all Shudras. In Dvāpara-yuga, Vaishyas are also there. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. In Tretā-yuga, Sattva-guna was prominent. In Satya-yuga, Sattva-guna was prominent. In Tretā-yuga, the passion was introduced. Dvāpara-yuga, passion and ignorance. In Kali-yuga, mostly ignorance. And then Shukadeva Goswami describes in more detail about the degraded qualities of people of Kali-yuga. People of Kali-yuga will be short-sighted, unfortunate. They'll be lusty, gluttonous. As Vyasadeva saw all this. In the first canto, we heard Vyasadeva when he saw that people of Kali-yuga, they have very less lifespan. They are unfortunate. So therefore, he compiled Bhāgavatam. In Kali-yuga, women will become unchaste. Cities will be dominated by thieves. Governments will be just busy in exploiting the citizens. The Vedas will be contaminated by unscrupulous people and meanings. The intellectuals will be governed by the kings. The Brahmanas will work for the kings. And they'll be the devotees of belly and genitals. In Kali-yuga, there'll be no cleanliness in Brahmachari ashram. Grihastha ashram will be reduced to beggars. In the end, as the Kali-yuga progresses, all this will be happening. Vanprastha, they will live in villages only, and sannyasis will become greedy for money. Prabhupada writes, in Kali-yuga, Brahmacharya is practically lost. No celibacy remaining. People in the old age, they waste their time playing golf. One time Prabhupada was walking on a morning walk and he saw one old man playing golf. Prabhupada had tears in his eyes and he said, just see, this very, very precious human form of life is wasted in putting a ball in a hole. That is unfortunate people of Kali-yuga. Women will be very short, will eat too much, speak harshly, they'll be very audacious, they will have more children than they can take care of. All these are the end of Kali-yuga. All these things will happen. People will just earn by any way. Of course, all these things have started manifesting. They'll become fully manifest at the end of Kali-yuga. People will do business and earn money by hook or crook. They'll resort to all the religious things. they will do any occupation, even if there is no emergency. In 7th canto, Narad Muni described many emergency dharmas. Servants will abandon their masters even though their masters are good. The masters will abandon their servants even though they are loyal. That's what happens nowadays in corporate worlds. The masters, they just throw out the servants. There is a layoff so many times. And the servants, they keep changing masters from one company to another company. Cows will be abandoned if it will not give milk. In Kali-yuga, people will be just marrying for enjoyment. They'll reject their fathers, mothers. They'll not take care of their subordinates. They'll not take care of the elderly people of the society. Friendship will be only on sexual ties. So many things he describes. Religion will be just for accepting charity on behalf of the Lord. That's how the Brahmanas will do. The priests just accept charity on behalf of the Lord. Nothing else. Even though they'll not know anything about scriptures, but still they'll speak about scriptures. That is what is happening. We can see all these things getting manifested now only. People of Kali-yuga, they'll be completely disturbed, always fearful, troubled by droughts. They'll not have adequate food, adequate clothing. And in this way, no protection, no worship of the Supreme Lord. But in Kali-yuga, there is a wonderful advantage. We have heard in many places, even in 5th canto, we heard that Devatas want to take birth in Kali-yuga. The sages of Satya-yuga want to take birth in Kali-yuga. Why? Because there is advantage. Just by chanting the names of the Lord, one can get liberated. That's the power of the names of the Lord in Kali-yuga. But people of Kali-yuga, they are so unfortunate. Yannamadheyam riyamana matura patan skhalan va vivasho grinam puman vimukta karma argaluttamam gatim prapnoti yakshanti natam kalaujana. Yannamadheyam, just by chanting the names of the Lord, riyamanam, even at the time of death, if he is falling unconscious, patan skhalan vivasha, completely helpless. In that state also, if one chants the name of the Lord, Vimukta karma argaluttamam gatim, one cuts off the bondage of birth and death. The chains of karma are cut off. But people of Kali-yuga, they are so unfortunate. Still, they don't take to it. As it said, you can take a horse to water, to lake, or a pond, but you can't make him drink. That's the unfortunate situation of Kali-yuga. Everything is given so freely. Mahaprabhu has come to give love of God to everyone freely. Apani kariyashwadane shikhaila bhaktagane prema chintamani prabhudhane nahi jane sthanastan yare tare koila dan Mahaprabhu data shiromani. He's the best of the givers of charity. He's the crest jewel. He's not thinking he's qualified, he's not qualified. He is giving everyone this love of God. But still, people of Kali-yuga, they are not taking to it. Asharyam etadhi manushya loke sudham parityajya visham pibanti namani narayana gocharani tyaktva kuhaka patanti. Ashcharya, it is so astonishing. People of this Kali-yuga, they are giving up nectar, they are drinking poison. Anyway, you chant the name of the Lord. Shruta, Sankirtita, Dhyata, Pujita, Chadritopiva. Either you chant, either you hear, either you worship, Pujita, meditate on the Lord. Anyway, you connect with the Lord. Nrinam dhunoti bhagwan ritastham janma ayuta ashubham. Are unlimited sins which are accumulated in the heart, they are destroyed and purified. Just like the fire purifies the gold, Lord Vishnu purifies the devotees. All the other things, they are of use only when Supreme Lord is brought into picture. Otherwise, all our wealth, all our worship of the Devtas, doing Ashtanga, Tapa, Dhyana, Yoga, it will not give result. Therefore, O Parikshit, he gives instruction. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan ritistham kuru keshavam mriyamano hyavahita tato yasi param gatim. Therefore, O Parikshit, just fix your mind on the Lord. Because if you fix your mind at the time of death, you will attain supreme destination. Parikshit is already fixed right from the beginning. Shukadeva Goswami is giving this instruction strongly through Parikshit to all of us. Supreme Lord is the controller. If one meditates, at the time of death, one will attain liberation. This Kali-yuga, there is no other way but to chant. The famous verse comes here. Kaler dosha nidhi rajan asti eko mahan guna kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. Just by chanting the names of the Lord, one attains perfection in this world which is full of faults. Dosha nidhi, it is ocean of faults. There is one mahan gun, there is one good quality of Kali-yuga. That's why Kali-yuga is the best of all the yugas. Although so many faults are described of Kali-yuga, but still Kali-yuga is the best. Therefore, it is worshipped by great personalities. Kalim sabhajayanti arya gunagya sarabhagina yatra sankirtane neva sarvasvartho bilabhyate. It's the best of all yugas. Although it is the worst of all yugas, but still it is the best of all yugas. Because just by chanting the names of the Lord, one can attain the highest perfection. Just like the king can destroy all the thieves, alone he can do it. He's so powerful. This one quality is the king of all the ages. Yatra sankirtane naiva sarvasvartho bilapyate kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. This one quality is sufficient to make Kali-yuga the most glorious age. Just by chanting, one can attain perfection. There are different ways to achieve the Lord in different ages. Another famous verse we have heard hundreds of times. Krite adhyayate Vishnu Tretā-yam yajato makhai Dvāpare paricharyayam kalau tad harikirtanat. In Kali-yuga, in different ages, there are different ways to achieve the Lord. Tretā-yuga, Satya-yuga, the way was meditation. Go to the forest, do tapasya. Treta, the way was worship the Lord by sacrifice. Dvāpara-paricharya, do deity worship. All these things are very difficult in Kali-yuga. Therefore, simplest is given. Kalau tad hari kirtana. In the 4th chapter, Shukadeva Goswami, he describes about the various types of annihilation. This 12th canto is the canto which has the topic of Nirodha, annihilation. 4 types of annihilation are described in this chapter. Shukadeva Goswami continues that I have described to you previously the measurements of time. Now please hear about the day of Brahma, what happens, and hear about the process of annihilation. A kalpa of Brahma, one day of Brahma is all called as one kalpa. It has 1000 yuga chakras, which is divided into 14 manvantar. That means every manvantar rules, every manu rules for 71 yuga chakras, approx 71. And the night of Brahma is also of 1000 yuga chakras. And in the night of Brahma, all the 3 worlds are annihilated. Bhu, Bhuva and Swa. Entire Bhulok, lower planets, Bhuvarlok, Swargalok. All get submerged in the waters of Garbhuda ocean. And Lord Vishnu, as he as he's lying down in the Garbhodak ocean, all the living entities, they enter in the body of Garbhodak ocean, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. There are four types of annihilation. There is Prakritik Pralay, Naimittika Pralay, Atyantika Pralay, and there is something called as Nitya Pralay. What is this Prakritik Pralay? Prakritik Pralay happens when Brahma, his life is ending. Naimittika Pralay happens at the end of the day of Brahma. All the lower three planetary systems, they are annihilated. That is Naimittika Pralay. Prakritik Pralay means Brahma is now dead. After Brahma dies, the entire universe is destroyed. All the elements are destroyed. 14 planetary systems are destroyed. Shukdev Goswami describes the process of annihilation. What happens when Brahmaji dies? After the death of Brahma, there is no rains for 100 years. We just experienced few months of scorching heat. We were all waiting for the rains. Now the rains have come. Oh, relief. After Brahmaji dies, no rains for 100 years. People starve. Everybody dies. Sun starts increasing the heat. Drinks up all the water of the ocean. And ये तो ऊपर से है. नीचे Sankarshan is there. Below Bhumandal, he starts emitting fire from his mouth. So from top, it is scorching heat. From below, fire from the mouth of Sankarshan. This entire universe becomes like a ball of fire. It is like a cow dung ball. If you put in fire, how it burns. The universe becomes like that, ball of fire. And after this, to increase the fire, the terrible wind blows for another 100 years. And in this way, the entire sky is covered with dust, and then water rises from the Garbhodak ocean. And the entire universe is covered with the water. Everything melts away. That's how this entire universe is destroyed. That is called as Prakritik Pralay. What is Atyantika Pralay? Atyantika Pralay, it is the destruction of the false ego of the living entities. This false ego is the root cause of material existence. We have heard in the previous discussions how the false ego is created. And because of false ego, we start identifying with the body and the mind and the things which are related with us. Oh, this is me, this is mine. False ego covers the jiva. When by the practice of devotional service, this false ego is destroyed. The jiva, the living entity, achieves liberation. And that is called as Atyantika Pralay. Apart from this Atyantik Pralay, there is Nitya Pralay also. There is some Pralay happening every moment. Every moment, our cells in the body are getting destroyed. In this world, things are getting destroyed. Every moment, something is destroyed. That is called as Nitya Pralay. After describing all this wonderful description, Shukdev Goswami, he says, O Parikshit, I have briefly described to you the glories of Lord Narayan. Because even Brahma cannot describe them completely. This Bhāgavatam, Harikatha, is the only way by which one can cross this ocean of material existence. Samsara sindhum mati dustaram utiti tirsho nanya plavo bhagavata Puruṣottamasya Leela katharasa nishevanam pumso bhaved vivid dukkha davardasya. Samsara Sindhu, this ocean of material existence, it is ati dustaram. It is very, very difficult to cross. There is no other boat which can take you across this ocean other than Puruṣottamasya Leela Katharas. unless you absorb your mind in the nectarine ocean of Leela Katha of the Lord, Puruṣottama, you cannot cross this ocean of material existence. Oh, Parikshit Maharaj, in the beginning you asked me a question. What is the duty of a dying person? This is the duty of the dying person. One should hear the Leela Katha of the Lord. Hear the pastimes of the Lord. There is no means of crossing this material existence. No Gyan, no Yoga, no Karma. You should not accept the Gyan which I have described in so many chapters to be the essence of my discussion. Bhakti Yoga is the essence. Long ago, Nar Narayan Rishi explained this knowledge to Narad Muni. Narad Muni explained this to my father, Vyasadeva, and my father taught me this wonderful knowledge. And now Shukadeva Goswami makes a wonderful declaration. And this Suta Goswami, who is sitting in the assembly, will describe this wonderful Bhāgavatam to the sages of Naimisharanya in future. Already the declaration is made. That's how the fourth chapter ends. Fifth chapter is interesting. In fifth chapter, Parikshit Maharaj tests Shukadeva Goswami. We have heard so far 2 times Parikshit Maharaj tested Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami tests Parikshit Maharaj. So far, Shukadeva Goswami has tested 2 times Parikshit Maharaj. First time in the 6th canto, when Parikshit Maharaj asked, how will the people of hell be delivered? Shukadeva Goswami tested the understanding of philosophy. First he told, okay, they'll do karmakand. Oh, that is elephant bathing. Theek hai Gyan, that is Venugulvam Vimanala. Okay. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham dhunvanti kartsnena niharam eva bhaskara. Only by unalloyed devotional service one can be free from all the contaminations. First test, testing the philosophical understanding of the disciple. Second time he tested in the end of the 9th canto. Shukadeva Goswami, he summarized all the pastimes of the Lord in just 2 verses. He was testing the eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj. Are you eager to hear? And now in the 6th chapter of the 12th canto, Shukadeva Goswami is about to test the loyalty of Parikshit Maharaj to the path of Bhakti Yoga. You know, all of us will be tested for these things for sure. We'll be tested for our philosophical understanding, how eager we are to practice bhakti, how loyal we are to the path of devotional service. Because sometimes when problem comes, devotees, they resort to other means. Oh, go to this devta, this Babaji, this astrology, and that yajna. And then after that, we'll chant. Our loyalty is tested always by the Lord. Shukadeva Goswami continues. This Śrīmad Bhāgavatam has elaborately described the wonderful pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom Brahma and Shiva takes birth. After speaking all this, Shukadeva Goswami starts thinking, it is improper that I have disclosed a jewel from my heart. The jewel of bhakti, it is a rare jewel. It should not be revealed to the people who don't deserve to see it. I have described in so many verses, so many chapters, the glory of Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga is Raja Vidya, Raj Guhya. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā, 9th chapter, 2nd verse, it is confidential. But I have given to everyone. There are so many impersonalists, yogis, jnanis sitting in the assembly. I have to do something. I have glorified the holy names so much. I have described that bhakti is the active principle of jnana and yoga. Naishkarmya vapyachyuta bhava varjitam nashobate jnanam alam niranjanam. I have described It is like beating the empty husks of rice. If bhakti is not there, Gyan will not give the result. I have described that also. Whatever one wants, one can attain by the practice of bhakti. I have spoken that through the story of Navyogendras. Uddhava Gita, Yat Karmabhir, Yat Tapasa, Gyan Vairagyashchayat Yogena Dana Dharmena Shreyo Viritarairapi Sarvam Mad Bhakti Yogena Mad Bhakto Labate Anjasa Swarga Pavarga Mad Dhama Kathanchit Yadi Vanchati. So many verses I have spoken glorifying devotional service. Whatever you want by your karma, your gyan, your tapasya, your dana, everything you will get by bhakti. I have described that all these other paths, they are of no use if bhakti is not there. I have described the glory of the holy name through Devahuti, through Ajamil, Yannam, Yannamadheyam, Śravaṇānukirtanād, Yat Pravanād, Yat Śravaṇādapi Kvachit, Svadopi Sadya, Śravanāya Kalpate, Kuta Punaste Bhagavannu Darshana. Even if somebody is born in the family of dog eaters, just by chanting the names of the Lord, he becomes completely purified. So I've spoken so many things. I have revealed the greatest secret. But the Lord likes to keep things hidden. Parokṣavāda mama priya. Prithu Maharaj told this. Parokṣavāda mama priya. If things are spoken in indirect way, that is very dear to me. And the Lord likes to keep things confidential. He likes to speak in indirect ways, and it leaves to people to understand what he spoke. We heard that in the first canto, Bhishma Dev Yudhishthir Samvad. Nahi asya karhichit rajan puman ved viditsidam yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. Even great personalities are confused. They can't understand what the Lord wants. Arey, Lord is standing right in front. We can ask him, na? Bhishma says, even if you ask, he will not reply. And even if he replies, you will not understand. So Shukdev Goswami, thinking all these things, he decides to glorify Gyan, to hide the supreme secret of Bhakti Yoga, the supreme crest jewel. Now, he hides it and shows off something which is secondary, something which is not great. And he shows off another jewel which is not so wonderful like Bhakti. He shows the jewel of Jnana. And therefore, Shukdev Goswami says, Parikshit will understand this because he is a great devotee of the Lord. But those who are not pure devotees, they'll be bewildered. Anyways, I don't want to give this jewel to people who don't deserve it. Because Lord doesn't give bhakti so easily. Whatever we are receiving, this wonderful knowledge of Bhagavatam, it is really rare knowledge. Not many can get this. That's why in the beginning of Bhagavatam, we heard Bhagavatam is compared to four things. It is compared to a lamp. It is compared to a torch. It is compared to sun. It is compared to a ripened fruit. And it is compared to Mohini Murti also. Why Mohini Murti? Here is the reason. Because the highest secret, highest, greatest jewel is hidden in Bhagavatam. People who want things of this world, they'll get things of this world. Just like Mohini Murti cheated the demons, Bhagavatam will cheat materialistic people. Those who are wicked, sinful, they'll not get the essence of Bhagavatam. Only a sincere devotee will get the essence of Bhagavatam. Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam daiva priyam kulapati kvachaking karova astveva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo Muktim dadati karichit smana bhakti yogam. Narad Muni told to Yudhishthira, O king, the Lord becomes your everything. He's your messenger, he's your servant, he's your worshipable deity because you are pure devotee. Otherwise, Krishna doesn't give himself so easily. He gives sense gratification, he gives liberation, but he doesn't give mukti. Parikshit will understand. He will not get bewildered because he is Mahabhagavat. Savai Mahabhagavato Parikshit. Parikshit is already a Mahabhagavat. He will not get confused, I know. And also I've indicated this to him previously also that you will attain Prem Bhakti. Don't worry. So therefore, I will speak this Gyan. Somebody may say, well, if Shukdev Goswami, he already completed Bhagavatam now in the fourth chapter of the 12th canto. And in the first canto, anyways, Shukdev Goswami was not there. How is it that the first canto and the 12th canto, remaining chapters, they are part of Bhagavatam? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. All this explanation is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says, just like Bhagavad Gita, there are 700 verses. Not all are spoken by Krishna. But all the other verses, they support Krishna's dialogue. Similarly, all these other discussions, they support Bhagavatam. Therefore, they are also Bhagavatam. Shukdev Goswami, he continues. It describes the knowledge of the spirit soul. O Parikshit, to think that one is going to die is animalistic mentality. Give up this mentality. Of course, Parikshit Maharaj doesn't have this mentality. Lord is Shukdev Goswami speaking to all of us. Give up this mentality. Try to understand that you are Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Brahman is I. Gyan, he's speaking Gyan very strongly. Understand that whatever you are seeing in this world, it is just like a person seeing a dream. In a dream, a person sees his head cut off. All this we have heard many times. But here, Shukdev Goswami emphasizes it very strongly. Just like the sky stays aloof from all the contamination, the soul is aloof from all the contamination of this world. So, O Parikshit, please meditate on the Lord and use your logical intelligence and become free from all the bondage of this material world. In this way, even if Takshak comes and burns your body, you will not be affected. Please meditate on Brahman. We should consider I am non-different than the absolute truth. In 6th chapter, after Shukdev Goswami emphasizes Gyan, Parikshit Maharaj, who had lived his entire life serving Krishna, how will this small display of Gyan affect him? He was protected by Lord Vishnu right from his birth, before his birth. So Maharaj Parikshit, he thanks Shukdev Goswami, very, very grateful. Siddhosmi anugrihitosmi bhavata karunatmana Shravito yachame sakshat anadi nidhano hari. Siddhosmi anugrihitosmi. Today, my life has achieved perfection. Anugrihito, I am so very grateful, O Shukdev Goswami. You have spoken this wonderful pastimes of the Lord. Shravito yachame sakshat, I have heard directly from your mouth the wonderful pastimes of Lord. I have become successful. It is not amazing that fools like me are benefited like great personalities like yourself. You have shown such compassion to a fallen person like me. But Shukdev Goswami say, well, what did you understand? Can you please tell me? After hearing all this, what did you understand? Parikshit Maharaj says, I have heard from you the glories of the Supreme Lord. I've heard from you this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which perfectly describes Lord Krishna. Parikshit didn't even consider what is Brahman in all this. You have spoken that meditate on Brahman, but I have no fear of Takshak. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj becomes a little angry because how can you tell me that I should meditate on Brahman? Chakravarti Thakur writes, entering Brahman, it is very fearful for me, O Shukdev Goswami. I can't even think of entering to Brahman. I am not fearful of anything of this world, but I don't want to enter Brahman because there is no seva there. I have made my vow already in the beginning, right? Punascha bhuyat bhagavati anante rati prasanga chatadashrayeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami srishtim maitrestu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. Parikshit Maharaj made this declaration to the sages. O great sages, if I have to take birth again, I have these three desires. I want rati unto the Supreme Lord, attraction for the Lord. Prasanga chatadashrayeshu, I want association of the devotees. And maitrestu sarvatra, I need genuine compassion for all the living entities. But now you are teaching me Brahman? I am really very, very fearful hearing about this Brahman. Shukdev Goswami becomes happy. Oh, my disciple is such wonderful. Just like Lord Krishna in the beginning, when the Ras Leela gopis, they came, and he said, oh gopis, why have you come? Have you come to see this Vrindavan in the full moon night? Have you come to collect some flowers? You should not stay in Vrindavan. It is full of tigers and ferocious animals. Go back. And gopis, they become angry. So that's how Parikshit Maharaj also becomes a little angry. Oh, Shukdev Goswami says, oh Parikshit, now what more do you wish to hear? Parikshit Maharaj says, I don't want to hear anything more. I just want to resign my speech and functions of my senses unto Lord Adhokshaja. I just want to meditate on him and achieve his lotus feet. As Parikshit Maharaj, he takes permission. Shukdev Goswami, he gave permission to Parikshit Maharaj, and then he departed from that place. Takshak is coming to bite Parikshit Maharaj. Kashyap Muni, he arranged some herbs which were powerful enough to counteract the poison of Takshak. But by the will of Providence, Takshak, he understood this. He took the form of a Brahmana and he came and told Kashyap, Kashyap, why are you going with all these herbs? I'll give you lots of wealth and gems and jewels in return of this. Don't go there. There was a competition between Kashyapa and Takshak. Kashyap said, actually, my poison is so powerful. You can't do anything. Just see, there was a full tree in front of him. He burned that tree just by his poison in few seconds. Kashyapa Muni chanted these mantras, and within few seconds, the tree again came up from the seed. Takshaka understood Kashyap is very powerful. Then he said, please take this jewel and the wealth. Anyways, it is ordained by the Lord. You please go your way. So Kashyap Muni, he accepted this proposal. Takshaka, he reaches this place and Parikshit Maharaj is absorbed in meditation on the Lord. He has already left his body. He has already achieved perfection. He has already achieved spiritual world. Takshak comes and he bites the body of Parikshit Maharaj. Immediately, the entire body of Parikshit burst into flames. Entire universe was lamenting. All the great Devtas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, they saw the glorious departure of Parikshit Maharaj. They showered flowers. After some time, Janmejaya, when he came to know, he was there, he came to know, he became so angry. He wanted to start a sacrifice in which he wanted to destroy the entire Sarpa dynasty. All the priests were doing yajna. And they started chanting mantras, and the snakes from all over the universe started coming and falling in that sacrificial fire. Takshaka is not coming. Why? Janmejaya, he asked the priests, why Takshak is not coming? I can see all the snakes, other snakes are coming, but that Takshaka, why he is not coming? The priests, they informed that Indra is protecting Takshaka. Janmejaya said, then chant mantras and call Indra also. Let Indra also burn in this fire along with Takshak. So priests said, so be it. They started chanting mantras. And they were so powerful. Indra was thrown off from his royal throne along with the Devtas, and Indra started falling in the sacrificial fire. Brihaspati now came and he spoke to Janmejaya. Oh Janmejaya, you can't do this. Please stop. Indra, he is a representative of the Lord. Lord will not be pleased. So after lots of instructions, Janmejaya desisted. So that's how this wonderful story of Parikshit Maharaj departing from the world ended. Shukdev Goswami, he had left. Now Suda Goswami continues the discussion of the remaining Bhagavatam. Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Krishnaya Kuntamedase Yat Padam Buruhadhyana Samhitam Adhyagamimam. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Krishnaya, unto Lord Krishna, who is Akuntha Medhase. His intelligence never gets obstructed. Akuntha Medhase. He's always working how to save his devotees. Just by meditating on the lotus feet of Lord, Yad Padamburuha Dhyanat, I have been able to recite and study this Bhagavatam and all the other Samhitas. Having heard about this word Samhitas, all the sages, they ask, can you please tell us about the Samhitas and other Puranas? They are so very wonderful. Now, how Vyasadeva, he gave this Puran and Samhita and all the other scriptures to his disciples. Can you please explain? So Suda Goswami describes how in the beginning of the creation, Brahma, he spoke the Vedas. It was manifested in the heart of Brahmaji, Tene, Brahmaridaya, Adi Kavaye. It came out as Omkar. Then from Omkar, all the Vedas, they manifested. Then the Vedas, they were divided into other corollaries. And that's how Brahma taught this to the sons. And then the parampara started. And in the parampara, it was coming down. At the end of Dvāpara-yuga, Vyasadeva, he divided the Vedas in 4 Vedas. He compiled various Puranas. We have heard in the beginning of the first canto. Bhautikanam cha bhavanam shakti rasam cha tatkritam ashraddhadhana nistatvan durmedhan rashitayusha durbhagam sha janan vikshya muni divyena chakshusha sarva varna shramanam yad dadhyohitam mamogadrik. Vyasadeva, to show compassion to all the people in general, he divided the Vedas into 4. He wrote Puranas also. So in this chapter, 7th chapter, Suta Goswami describes how Vyasadeva, he divided the Vedas, how he gave the Vedas to his disciples. And then he describes about the branches of Atharva Veda. And then he describes there are 10 topics of any Puran which we have discussed in this entire Bhagavatam. Again, Suta Goswami describes Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana, Utaya, Manvantara, Ishanukatha, Nirodha, Mukti, Ashraya. These are 10 topics of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also. They are not just the topics of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, they are topics of any Mahapuran. And there are 18 Puranas. He takes the name of all the 18 Puranas. There are 18 primary Puran and 15 secondary Puran. He gives the name of all the Puran. And in that, Bhagavat Puran is also mentioned. Markandeya Puran is also mentioned. As Shaunaka Rishi hears the word Markandeya, oh, Markandeya is a great sage. We have heard about him. Can you please tell us more about this Markandeya Rishi? He was such a wonderful sage. He is son of Mrikandu. He was given a benediction of living for many days of Brahma. He survived annihilation. Shaunaka Rishis, all the Rishis are headed by Shaunaka Rishi. Shaunaka Rishi asks, Markandeya Muni is born in my family, Angira. And I have not seen annihilation because so far in this Kalpa, annihilation has not happened. In this Manvantara, annihilation has not happened. How Markandeya Muni saw annihilation? Can you please tell me? We are so very eager to hear about this wonderful story. Suta Goswami, he starts the wonderful story of Markandeya Rishi. He says, Oh, Shaunaka Rishi, your question is wonderful. It is giving me such pleasure, and this will dispel the illusion of people of Kali-yuga. Narayana Katha Yatra Gita Kali Malapaha, because it is story of Narayan. And story of Narayan destroys the inauspiciousness of Kali-yuga. He starts. Markandeya Rishi, he was such a great tapasvi. He was a brahmachari, celibate. Following the instructions of his Mrikandu, his father, Mrikandu Rishi, he performed so many purificatory rituals. He would be very, very austere living. He would live very austere, very sense-controlled, perfect in studying the Vedas. In this way, he worshipped the Lord. By all this, he became so powerful that he actually practically became immortal. Brahma, Shiva, Prajapatis, all the great rishis and devatas, they were amazed to see the accomplishment of Markandeya Rishi. He was completely fixed in serving the Lord. Following rigid celibacy, he did tapasya, meditating on the Lord inside his heart. He did tapasya for 6 manvantars. In the beginning of 7th manvantar, Indra became really insecure. He thought, Mera post chahiye isko. And that is the case always with Indra. And his standard protocol is, okay, send apsaras. So Indra sent so many apsaras. He sent Cupid. He sent all the Gandharvas. He sent the spring season. All of them came. And they started making such a wonderful display of music, song. All the apsaras were dancing. Spring season was getting the wonderful experience. The breeze was flowing with fragrance of beautiful flowers, the tinkling of the ankle bells and all the apsaras. And the famous apsara, Punjika Sthali, she was there. She came and she was playing with a ball there. And all her body parts were getting exposed. The wind was blowing her clothes away. It was really a sensual environment. But in spite of all this, Markandeya Rishi was completely undisturbed, absorbed in meditation on the Lord. Cupid, he shot his arrows of 5 heads. Cupid has these arrow of 5 heads. Bewilderment, agitation, suffering, exhilaration, drying up. When the Kamadev hits the arrows, exhilaration, seeing the beauty of the world, seeing the beauty of the opposite gender, all these things come. Nothing would affect Markandeya Muni. Krishne nama vishtamana sada haridas aranye rodit hoila stri bhava prakash. Same case with Haridas Thakur. Maya Devi personified came to test him. Who can bewilder a devotee of the Lord? Jnanis and yogis can get bewildered. Devotees, they don't get bewildered. The pure devotees. So ultimately, Cupid and all his followers, they became really fearful, ashamed. They came and fell at the feet of Markandeya Muni. Markandeya now opened his eyes slowly. And they were thinking, now abhi to bhasma ho jane wale hain. Abhi to shrap milega. Markandeya Muni, he was completely unaffected. No anger, no envy. He welcomed them very nicely. Oh, great souls, all of you have come to my ashram. What can I do to serve you? So Indra and all the Devatas were really astonished. And they offered their obeisances and they left. Markandeya Muni was such a great devotee. He was completely absorbed in the Lord. He had no false ego. Desiring to bestow mercy on Markandeya Muni, Narayan Rishi personally appeared. Beautiful form is described there. Narayan Rishi had a blackish complexion. Nara had a whitish complexion. Both had 4 arms, eyes blossoming like lotus flowers, lotus petals. Beautiful ears, garments. They were wearing deer skin. They had a begging bowl, kamandalu. They were carrying staff. They offered beautiful benedictions. They glorified Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi, first he offered his prayers, offered obeisances, glorified them. O Lord, you are the creator of this world. You are the maintainer. You are the destroyer. Just like a spider weaves the web, maintains it, and swallows it. Only you are maintaining this entire universe. Anyone who takes shelter of your lotus feet, he is untouched by the modes of material nature. So therefore, I worship your lotus feet. People of this world, they are bewildered by your energy, illusory energy. They don't realize how the time is passing by. Oh Lord, you accept the modes, but you don't get affected by the modes. You are doing everything in this entire creation, but you are unaffected. I offer my obeisances to you. Narayan Rishi says, Oh Markandeya, you're such a great devotee. Please ask for a benediction. We are really satisfied with your service. Please ask. Markandeya Muni says, Oh my Lord, I don't want anything from you. I'm just satisfied serving you. But I have one desire. I want to see your illusory energy. I want to see how your illusory energy bewilders people. Because everybody gets bewildered by your illusory energy. When Lord hears this request, he smiles. He says, so be it, and he departs. Chakravarti Thakur writes, why he smiled? Because Lord thought that seeing Maya will only give you grief. But anyways, you want to see Maya? I'll show you my illusory energy. The Lord, he prefers that devotees, they stay away from Maya. We should not be overconfident. Chalo dekhte hain log kitna patit ho gaye. We should never test ourselves. If somebody is going in a jungle safari, sees a lion sleeping, one should not think, mar gaya ki so raha hai. Chalo, we'll go and slap him. We should never be overconfident. If the senses are sleeping, let them sleep. But then Lord said, okay, theek hai, you must realize how this Maya is so very troublesome. I do not want my devotees to experience this. But anyways, if you want to see, so be it. The Lord disappeared. Markandeya Muni waited. After a few days, after performing his daily worship, suddenly Markandeya Muni starts seeing the clouds in the sky. Storm. It started raining so heavily. Within few moments, the entire world became full of water. All the four oceans, they swelled up. Everything was devastated. Only Markandeya remains. And he's getting tossed in these waves of the ocean. Terrible winds are blowing. It is torrents of rains. He's seeing in the ocean ferocious aquatic animals coming to devour him. He's tormented by hunger. No place, no shelter. He is just swimming, tormented by the waves of this ocean for millions of years. As he is wandering, getting disturbed, so very troubled, one day he saw a small island. On that island, there was a banyan tree. On the branch of a banyan tree, he saw a beautiful, small baby, bluish colored baby lying down on a banyan leaf. Such a beautiful form of this small baby. He had a bluish complexion like a dark emerald. His eyes were like pomegranate flowers. His ears were the ears were like pomegranate flowers. The eyes were like lotus petals. Inside of the ears were like the spirals of the conch shell. He had the throat which had lines like a conch shell, broad chest, having a mark of Srivatsa. The corners of his eyes were reddish, like the whorl of the lotus flower. And this beautiful small boy smiled at Markandeya. Mukhena lokartiharasmitena parispurat kundalamanditena shonaitena dharbimbabhasa pratyarhayantam sunasena shubhrava. When the Lord smiles at somebody, all his distress is destroyed. Markandeya Muni, just by the smile of the Lord, he felt so relieved. But suddenly, this child inhaled. And Markandeya Muni entered the body of the small child, along with all the waters of ocean. Inside the mouth, this Markandeya Muni is seeing entire universe. He's seeing everything in this universe. He sees himself floating in the ocean of this material existence, waters of annihilation. This beautiful form of small child lying on the lotus feet. And what this Lord was doing, he was sucking his own toe. Why he is sucking his own toe? Because the Lord is always thinking, Lord is perplexed कि भाई ये मेरे devotees को मेरे चरण कमल में क्या आनंद मिल रहा है? What is the pleasure? What is the rasa which they are getting in serving my lotus feet? I want to taste it. So you cannot taste your feet unless you are a child. Child has the propensity. Karāravindena padāravindam mukharavindena viniveshayantam vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balam mukundam manasa smarami. This beautiful verse describes this wonderful story. Karāravindena padāravindam. Krishna is holding on to his lotus feet with his lotus hands. Mukharavinde viniveshayantam, and he's putting it in his lotus mouth. Vatasya patrasya puteshayanam. As the Lord is lying down in this lotus, in the leaf of the banyan tree, I meditate on that form of the Lord. He sees entire universe. Markandeya Muni, entire universe in his mouth. He saw himself. He saw all the elements of creation, all the sky, all the mountains, all the oceans, everything. He saw his own hermitage. And as he's seeing all this, suddenly everything disappears. And meanwhile, the small child exhales. Again, Markandeya Muni is in the ocean. Again, it goes on for millions of years. Again, he sees this boy. Again, he inhales. This happens for 7 times. And then ultimately, Lord thought, was enough of this. Then ultimately, as Markandeya Muni comes out, suddenly he sees all the illusion disappearing. He saw the same child glancing at him. And Markandeya Muni understood. It was all illusion which lasted for just one moment. But in that one moment, Lord compressed 7 kalpas of time. Markandeya Muni offered his obeisances to the Lord. In 10th chapter, another wonderful discussion happens between Markandeya Muni and Lord Shiva. One time, immediately after this, Lord Shiva and Parvati, they are traveling in the sky on Nandi. Parvati sees this great Markandeya Rishi. Parvati says, "Oh my Lord, just see this wonderful, great personality, this Brahmana. He has controlled his body, mind and senses. He's a perfected being. Please go and give some blessings." मतलब इनकी पूजा भी नहीं कर रहे हैं. Still Parvati is so happy seeing this devotee of the Lord. Please give him some blessings. Lord Shiva says, "Arey Parvati, he is a self-satisfied sage. He is a devotee of Lord Narayan. He doesn't need any benedictions." But still, now what Lord Shiva speaks is very wonderful. Athapi samvadishyamo bhavani etena sadhuna ayam hi paramo labho nrinam sadhu samagama. Still, O Parvati, we should go and we should meet this great sage. Because meeting great devotees like Markandeya is beneficial for people like us also. They both come down. The sage is absorbed in meditation, oblivious of the externals. Lord Shiva enters the heart of Markandeya and reveals himself. Markandeya Muni, he is seeing the Lord. He sees, "Arey, Lord Shiva kahan se aa gaye?" He opens his eyes and he sees Lord Shiva in front of him. And Markandeya Muni offers his obeisances to Lord Shiva. He glorifies Lord Shiva. "Oh, you are such a great devotee of the Lord. You are the Supreme Lords. You are the Supreme Lord himself. You are transcendental to modes. You are working in this world." Of course, the great devotees of the Lord, they understand who is Lord Shiva, who is Brahma, who is Vishnu. When Markandeya Muni glorifies, Lord Shiva replies that, "Oh Markandeya, I am very pleased with you because you don't show discrimination between 3 of us. You understand our actual position. Therefore, I am very pleased with you. Great devotees like you. Brahmana sadhava shanta nisanga bhutavatsala ekanta bhakta asmasu nirvaira samadarshina. The great devotees like you are peaceful, equipoised, without any enemies. Uh, you are equal to everyone. People, they have the external vision. Therefore, when they go to holy place, they just see some river. Therefore, they don't get purified by the holy rivers. Nahi ammayani tirthani na deva chetanochita te punanti urukalena yuyam darshanamatrata. Therefore, going to holy places, worshipping the devtas, they don't purify people so quickly. But just by your darshan, one gets purified. Śravaṇā darshanād vāpi mahāpātakinopi vā shuddhyerantyataschapi kim o sambhāshanādivi. This type of description comes many times. Śravaṇād, darshanād, just by your darshan, by your remembrance, by taking your names, one gets purified of all the sins. What to speak of if one gets chance to talk with devotees like you? Parikshit Maharaj told the same to Shukdev Goswami. Vidurji told the same to Maitreya Muni. Yesham samsmaranat pumsam shadya shuddhanti vaigriha kim punar darshan sparsha pada shauchasanati. Markandeya Muni, as he hears this beautiful nectarine words from Lord Shiva, is relieved of all the exhaustion. He had just seen annihilation. So all his exhaustion is relieved. He was so very blissful. He was not experiencing bliss because he was praised, because he understood what is his duty. Whenever somebody praises, a person who is very mature, he understands these praises are my instructions. This is what I am supposed to do. We see the same thing in third canto when Swayambhu Manu comes to meet Kardam Muni, and Kardam Muni is glorifying Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu speaks the same thing. Thank you for instructing me about my duties. Markandeya Muni, he says, "Oh Lord, I don't want anything, but I have one desire. Please give me unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Lord." Markandeya, as he asks this, Lord Shiva gives benedictions and he says, "Markandeya, may all your desires be fulfilled. May you have unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Lord. May you have knowledge of the past, present, and future." Many wonderful benedictions. And then Lord Shiva leaves along with Parvati. Sut Goswami concludes his narration of Markandeya Muni. And in 11th chapter, Shaunaka Rishis, they ask about the worship of the Lord in detail as done by those who are not pure devotees of the Lord. He also wants to hear about the vibhutis of the Lord, how Lord appears as Virata Rupa. So in this chapter, Sudha Goswami describes the Virata Rupa in great detail. He offers obeisances to the Lord. He describes how the different limbs of the body of the Lord, Virata Rupa, they are the different planetary systems, the different ornaments of the Lord, they are the different manifestations. Just like Kaustuba gem represents, it is like the pure spirit soul. That's the Kaustuba gem of the Lord, of Virata Rupa. Virata Rupa also has a form of Vishnu. So he has Kaustubh. This Kaustubh is the spirit soul. And then he describes various other ornaments and the flower garlands and the crown. So many things he describes. And then after describing the worship of a portion of Krishna, then in a beautiful, beautiful prayer, Sut Goswami describes the worship of the personal form of Krishna. This is very similar to prayer of Kunti Maharani, which she offered in the first canto. Shri Krishna Krishna Sakha Vrishni Rishabhavani Drup Rajanyavam Shridahanana Pavarga Virya Govinda Gopavanita Vrajabhritya Gita Tirtha Shrava Shravana Mangala Pahi Vrityan. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, Rishabhavani, O friend of the descendants of Vrishni, Rajanya Vamsha Dahanana Pavarga Virya, you destroy all the demoniac kings. You give pleasure to all the cowherd boys, all the gopis. May that Lord always protect his devotees. And then he ends this narration. In the 12th chapter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 12th canto, Sutta Goswami, he summarizes the entire Bhāgavatam again. Etam vakaitha vipra vishno charitam adbhutam bhavadbhir yadaham prishto narayanam puruṣottama. O sages, whatever you have asked, I have described you in great detail all the pastimes of Krishna and Vishnu. Such narrations are suitable for a person who is entangled in this material world. Atra sankirtita sakshat sarva papo haro hari narayana rishikesha bhagwan satvatam pati. This wonderful description is sarva papa hara. This wonderful description, anybody who chants, who hears, all his sins are destroyed. He starts the summary of the entire Bhagavatam. We'll not go into the detail of, again, we'll not summarize everything. All the 12 cantos are summarized here in the 12th chapter. In brief, he tells what all he described from the beginning of Janmadesya, the mystery of the absolute truth, then divine knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Who is he? He described how in the first canto, Krishna returns to Dwarka. Then Parikshit takes birth. Before that, Dhritarashtra goes to forest. Pandavas retire. Parikshit meets Shukdev Goswami. In second canto, Parikshit Maharaj, he is listening. He asks so many questions. The description of Virat Rupa and the discussion of Narad and Brahma came there. This first canto has 19 chapters. Second canto has 10 chapters. Third canto is wonderful description of Maitreya Vidur Samvad. Vidurji meets Uddhava and Maitreya. Wonderful description of the pastimes of the Lord are described. Then the creation of this material world is described. And Swayambhu and Shatarupa takes birth. Then the story of Swayambhu Manu's dynasty starts. Kardam Muni and Devahuti, Devahuti is described. Kapila Devahuti Samvad, Sankhya philosophy. That's how this chapter, this entire canto has 33 chapters. Fourth canto. Maitreya Muni describes remaining daughters of Devahuti and remaining daughters of 9 daughters of Devahuti and remaining daughters of Swayambhu Manu, Akuti and Prasuti. In the course of describing, he describes the story of Daksha and Lord Shiva, Sati, and then he starts describing the dynasty of Priyavrat. Before that, he describes the dynasty of Uttanpad because he is eager to describe the story of Dhruv Maharaj. We heard the story of Dhruv Maharaj. Then in the dynasty of Dhruv Maharaj, Anga Maharaj came, then Vena, and in the dynasty of Vena, Prithu Maharaj appeared from the body of Vena. Then in the dynasty of Prithu Maharaj, Prachina Barhi. In the story of Prachina Barhi, we heard the story of Puranjan and Prachetas. The fourth canto ended with 31 chapters. Fifth canto, Shukdev Goswami now continues the narration and describes the story of Priyavrat Maharaj. How Priyavrat had many sons. They ruled. Priyavrat created 7 islands and 7 oceans. His sons, they ruled. Agnidra, then Nabhi, then Rishabhadev, Bharat Maharaj. The story of Bharat Maharaj is described, the 3 births. Then the geography is described. The conversation of Jad Bharat and Rahugan is described there. We heard the entire geography, cosmology, the vertical and the horizontal dimensions of the universe. That's how the 5th canto ended with 26 chapters, the hellish description. Sthana. 6th canto is portion. Shukdev Goswami describes the story of Ajamil and glorifies the holy name of the Lord. Then Prajapati Daksha appears again from Prachetas. He does tapasya. Progeny of the daughters of Daksha are described. Before that, story of Haryashvas, Shavalashvas, we heard that. We heard the story of Indra offending Brihaspati. Portion, Lord is protecting his devotees. We heard the story of Vritrasur, wonderful story of Vritrasur and Chitraketu Maharaj. And in the end, we heard the story of Pumsavana Vrata by Aditi. 6th canto ended with 19 chapters. 7th canto, we heard the wonderful story of Narasimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. Narad Muni described about Varnashram system in great detail there. This is Uti. 7th canto ended with 15 chapters. 8th canto is another wonderful canto. It describes Manvantara because Parikshit Maharaj said, I asked you one question about the Swayambhu Manu and you spent 4 cantos. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 5 cantos. बाकी वाले भी बच्चे हैं उनके बारे में भी बताइए. Parikshit Maharaj, as he asks this, Shukdev Goswami describes all the other Manvantars. In the course of describing, he says, 4th Manvantar, Hari appeared. He delivered Gajendra. Oh, Gajendra ki story sunaiye. Gajendra story. 6th canto, Lord appeared as Ajita and helped in Samudra Manthan. Oh, Ajita, please tell me about the Samudra Manthan. How Ajita appeared. 7th Manvantar, Bali Maharaj and the battle between demons and Devta. Oh, please tell me about that story. Vamana Dev. Then we heard the story of Matsya Avatar also. That's how 8th canto ended with 24 chapters. 9th canto is a chapter full of stories. Ishanukatha. The story of the kings of Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. Sudyumna, Ila, and a story of Tara, descendants of sun god, Ikshvaku, then story of Nriga. Then we heard the story of Ambrish Maharaj there. We heard the story of Sukanya, Sharayati, Kakutstha. Then we heard the story of Mandhata, 50 daughters, Shaubari, Sagar. Sagar brought, unke dynasty mein Bhagirath aa gaye. Story of Ramchandra. And it ended with the story of the dynasty of Krishna, Surya Vamsha and then Soma Vamsha. Soma Vamsha mein Pururava, Yayati, then Puru, all the kings. Nahusha. And Krishna Lila is described in brief there. 9th canto ended with 24 chapters. Then 10th canto, entire Krishna Lila, birth of Krishna. Akrura takes. Then so many demons are killed in Vrindavan. Putana, Trinavar, Aghasur, Bakasur, Pralambasur, Dhenukasur. 3 years, 6 months in Gokul. 3 years, 4 months. 6 years, 8 months, up to 6 years, 8 months in Vrindavan. From 6 years, 8 months to 10 years, 7 months in Nandagam. Akrura comes, takes away Krishna. Mathura, Kamsa is killed. Chanu, Ramustik, all these powerful demons are killed. And then stories of Mathura, then Hastinapur. So many stories we heard. And ultimately, Krishna wound up all his pastimes. This chapter, Canto 10, ended with 90 chapters. 11th canto, wonderful description of Uddhava-gītā and Maharaj Nimi meeting Nava-yogendras and how Krishna gave up this mortal world. We heard 31 chapters. And then in this 12th canto, we heard all the degraded dynasties of Kali-yuga, the symptoms of Kali-yuga, 4 types of annihilation, passing away of Lord of Parikshit Maharaj, and division of Vedas. So that's how Sudha Goswami, after summarizing all these 12 cantos, in the end now, he glorifies Harikatha again. Patita skhalita charta shutva va vivashogran haryena mityuchai muchyate sarvapataka. Anyway, you chant the name of Lord. Anyway. While falling, while slipping, while sneezing. Shutva means sneezing. कैसे भी आप नाम लीजिए. Muchyate sarvapataka. The pastimes of the Lord, they are always ruchira. They are always pleasing. They are pleasing to the ears, pleasing to the mind. Beautiful verse comes there. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Tadeva sashvan manaso mahotsavam. Tadeva shokarnava shoshanam nirnam yaduttama shloka yasho nugiyate. The Lord's pastimes, they are always pleasing. Ramyam, ruchiram, attractive. Navam navam, always new. Manaso mahotsavam, they give pleasure to the mind. They destroy the distress of people of Kali-yuga. The words and the scriptures, they do not glorify the Lord's pastimes. They are like the pilgrimage of crows. Same verses repeated here again. First canto, 5th chapter. Nayad vachas chitra padam harer yasho jagat pavitram praganit karichit advayasam tirtam. Those scriptures, they glorify the pastimes of the Lord, although they are imperfectly composed. They are glorified by the sages. Anything which is not offered to the Lord, it is waste. Naishkarmyam apachyuta bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanamalam niranjanam. After describing all this, Shukdev Goswami, Sudha Goswami, he says, "O great sages, I am so very grateful to all of you. You have allowed me to remember the Supreme Lord. Anybody," now he gives Falashruti of hearing Bhagavatam. We are hearing Bhagavatam since last so many days. Yaye tat shravaye nityam yamakshayam ananyadhi shlokam ekam tadardham va padam padardhameva va. अगर कोई एक श्लोक भी पढ़े, आधा श्लोक भी पढ़े, 1/4 also. You know what's the benefit? Shraddhavan yo shrunayat punanti punatyatmanameva sat. With faith, if somebody hears Bhagavatam regularly, attentively, he purifies himself and he attains perfection. So ultimately, Shukdev Goswami offers obeisances to the Supreme Lord, to his worshipable devatas, that is Krishna. He offers obeisances to Shukdev Goswami. The last chapter of Bhagavatam, the glories of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangapadai Kramopanishade Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura surgana devaya tasmai namaha. He offers obeisances to Supreme Lord. Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Chandra, Shiva, they are singing the glories of the Lord. One should meditate on these wonderful pastimes. Dhyana vastit tadgatena manasa. The great sages, They try to meditate on the form of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord, which are recited in different Vedas, Upanishad, Puran. It is not so easy to have darshan of the Lord. Even Devtas can't understand the Lord. So Goswami gives the verse count in all the different Puranas. Brahma Puran, 10,000. Padma Puran, 55,000. He goes on. And then he says Bhagavat Puran, 18,000. And he says, this Bhagavat Puran, anybody who reads this, Praushthapadyam Paurnamasyam Hema Simhas Hema Simha Samanvitam Dadati Yo Bhagavatam Sayati Paramam Gatim. Bhadra Purnima shlok comes here. Bhadra Purnima has started. Anybody who gifts this Bhagavatam on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra month, Paurnamasya, places this Bhagavatam on a golden throne and gives the gift to the devotees, Sayati Paramam Gatim, he attains the highest destination. This Bhagavatam, it is the essence of all scriptures. Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Śrīmad Bhagavata Ishyate Tadarasamrita Triptasya Nanyatrasya Drati Kvachit. One who has felt satisfaction of this nectar, और कहीं उसको मिलता ही नहीं है satisfaction. Anyatra rati, he is never satisfied anywhere else. Anybody who has tasted Bhagavatam, higher taste. Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Devanam achyuto yatha, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Purananam idam tatha. Just like of all the rivers, Ganga is the best. Of all the Devtas, Lord Vishnu is glorified as the best. Of all the devotees of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva is the best. Of all the Puranas, Bhagavatam is the best. Just like of all the Kshetras, Kashi is the best. Kshetranam chaiva sarvesham yatha Kashi hi anuttama tatha Purana vratanam Śrīmad Bhāgavatam dvija. Of all the Puran, Bhagavatam is the best. What is this Bhagavat Puran? The most famous verse. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Puranam amalam yad Vaishnavanam priyam Yasmin paramaham semekam amalam jnanam param gīyate Yatra tatra jnana viraga bhakti sahitam naishkarmyam avishkritam Tashrinvan supathan vicharan paro bhaktya vimucchen naraha. This Bhagavatam is Amalam Purana. It is very dear to Vaishnavas. If we call ourselves Vaishnavas, Bhagavatam should be dear to us. Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this Bhagavatam, Paramahamsya Mekam Amalam, it describes the supreme process of devotional service. The supreme jnana is described. This process, this Bhagavatam has the wonderful stories of jnana, viraga, bhakti. Knowledge about the Lord, renunciation of the devotees, and the devotion of the devotees. Shrindvan, Supathan, Vicharan. Please hear, read, and meditate. What will be the result? Bhaktya vimucchen. One will be free from the bondage and will attain the Supreme Lord. That is the highest destination. This Bhagavatam is coming in parampara. Kasmayena vibhashito yamatulo jnana pradipa pura tadarupena chanaradaya munaya krishnaya tadarupina yogendraya tadatmanat bhagavadratāya karunyata tashuddham vimalam vishokamamritam satyam param dhimahi. Satyam Param Dhimahi. We began with Satyam Param Dhimahi, ending with Satyam Param Dhimahi. This Bhagavatam was spoken by Brahma. Kaha means Brahma. To Narad Muni. Narad Muni spoke to Vyasdev. Vyasadeva spoke to Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, Yogindraya, and Bhagavadataya. This Bhagavatam is pure, Shuddha, Vimalam, without any contamination, Vishokam. It frees one from all the lamentation, all the illusion. It is Amrit, it is nectar. It is the highest absolute truth. So that's how the Bhagavatam appears through Parampara. Sud Goswami ends by offering obeisances to Supreme Lord, offering obeisances to Shukdev Goswami, his spiritual master. And the last verse of Bhagavatam, he glorifies the holy names of the Lord. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanam Tam Namami Harim Param. The names of the Lord, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam. It destroys all the sins. Pranamo Dukkha Shamanam. Offering obeisance unto the Supreme Lord and the names of the Lord relieves one of all the miseries of the material world. So this is the end of Śrīmad Bhagavatam's 12th canto, the 13th chapter. So with this, we'll end our wonderful discussion of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. We completed in almost 27 days. Very grateful to all the devotees for being there. Always enthusiastic to hear so many are attending. Hare Krishna. Granthara Śrīmad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So whatever we have discussed, it is all by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all the parampara. Otherwise, on our own strength, we cannot even enter into this nectarine ocean of Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So today I'll just unmute the devotees, open the forum for devotees to ask few questions if they have. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Or if nobody has any questions, so we can end here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Yeah. Prabhuji, you have almost done the impossible for us, taken us through this journey. Very, very indebted to you. So my only question would be that you are almost walking, talking Bhagavatam. What do you have words of, encouragement or inspiration to devotees like us who just have not even touched the surface of the Bhagavatam? At least you help me to open some covers of the later Bhagavatam books. That also I'm very grateful to you that I opened at least some of the books. So in terms of memorizing the verses also, that is far-fetched, but what advice do you have other than daily reading of Bhagavatam?
Yeah, whatever we can. First of all, it begins with a desire. If we have the desire, then we will pray for this. And Krishna will reciprocate. If we are desiring sincerely enough, then for sure the Lord reciprocates. For me, I always wanted to study Bhagavatam, and I would do so sometimes. But in COVID, I got ample of opportunity to study Bhagavatam because there was nothing else to do. So whole day just studying Bhagavatam, speaking Bhagavatam, and that's how, all those things, all those notes which I made in those COVID times, they are, helping me to study and speak all these classes. So if we have desire, then Lord reciprocates for sure. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathayo bhajamyam. So that is for sure. So we have to pray to the Lord sincerely. Of course, I'm not an expert in Bhagavatam, just trying to hear something, whatever I've heard from my seniors, Gaurang Prabhu, Maharaj, and so many other devotees. Just hearing them, so many things have gone in. So that's how we are all learning. For some devotees, it is easy to memorize. Some devotees, it is not so easy. Memorization of the verses depends on two things. You like the meter of the verse, you like the meaning of the verse. So you try to remember or memorize if the meter or if the meaning is very attractive. So therefore, that's what I do. If I like some things, I note it down, and then, it helps me to memorize. So it all depends on ultimately the mood. Krishna is not pleased by externals of devotion. I can recite one more verse on that, but but Krishna is not pleased by devotion, by externals. He is pleased by the mood. You cannot please the Lord by memorizing verses. Of course, it is a good meditation. Ultimately, it all boils down to how much we are serving devotees. Because as we heard in third canto, Vidurji tells Maitreya that all the knowledge which you have given me, it will become realization by service. He says, Artha bhavam vignishitya paritasyapi natmana yachapi ushmacharana sevayaham paranate. If we are not serving, then that knowledge will stay information only. It will not become realization. So that is what we have to do. Try to study as much as possible, but service is more important. Goal of study is to absorb your mind in the name, Vaishnav Seva, Nam Ruchi and Jivadaya. That's what we can think of, we should pray for. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, Madan Murari Das Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
It was always a pleasure to listen to you, Prabhu. Prabhu, could we just think of having such sessions at least in every Kartik kind of thing? That would be the request on behalf of everybody. I think those who are regularly listening to you, if that could be a regular affair whenever such Kartik or any Adhik Mas, whenever again it returns back, if we could have something like this.
Yes, we can do that. Thank you for always being there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for offering an opportunity for listening this nectar through you. Just wanted to ask a question from this session regarding Nirodh. This annihilation pralay, Nitya pralay, we understand Naimitrik pralay, Prakrutik pralay. Regarding Atyantik pralay is dissolution of false ego. It's very difficult to understand, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is only possible by the practice of pure devotional service in due course of time it happens. And a devotee, he doesn't get liberated after death. He is liberated while in this body only. Ihayasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. If we are dedicating our body, mind, words in service of the Lord, that is jivan mukta. That is liberated state. And in due course of time, when we leave the body, whatever Lord wants, if he wants us to take back to spiritual world, or he wants us to give service in this material world, that will happen. So this atyantika, that is the annihilation of ego, annihilation of the subtle body. And that annihilation happens gradually, slowly. Just like the fire burns the firewood slowly, the subtle body is burnt by the practice of devotional service slowly. Jarayati ashu yakosham nigirnam analoyat. So that is Atyantika Pralay. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, so any other questions anybody has? Or
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad.
Just wish to thank you for opening our minds to this beautiful nectarian subject. It'll take a long time, but at least you've shown us the way now. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
Prabhu, first of all, thank you very much for taking us through this journey of hearing the Bhagavatam. My question is regarding reading the Bhagavatam, Prabhu. So how do you really read the Bhagavatam? Because now, if considering our material lives, even if we take one sloka a day, we will take almost like 50 to 60 years to complete the Bhagavatam. So what should be our approach at reading the Bhagavatam and being able to complete to read the Bhagavatam? Because hearing is always possible, because there are a lot of platforms where we are able, having the opportunity to hear the Bhagavatam. But reading, it's only that you have to do it yourself. So how do you complete, or what should we target? How do we complete the whole Bhagavatam in this lifetime at least?
First is you should have the desire. Second thing, plan. Third is execute. So desire everybody has, but many times you don't plan. And if we make plans, our plans are many times unrealistic. एक साल में पूरा भागवतम खत्म करेंगे. We should not be after completing Bhagavatam. We should be for relishing Bhagavatam. And if you want to complete Bhagavatam, that is also possible. Some devotees, they try just reading the translations first, so that they can get a overview of what is there in Bhagavatam. Just we have some devotees like Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. I have taken lots of things from his Subodhini, Bhagavat Subodhini, and he has written a Bhagavat Pravaha also. There is another Bhagavatam condensed by Purna Pragya Prabhu. So all these books, they give us a bird's eye view of what is there in Bhagavatam. So if we can't get into all the Bhagavatam purports and think, Are kab khatam hoga, so at least read the translations first. Set up a quota. Unless we determine to read, it will not happen. Problem is, we take a vow of chanting 16 rounds. Those who have taken initiation, those who are devotees practicing 16 rounds, so kar hi lete hain, because that is what we have decided. But we don't decide on reading Bhagavatam. That Bhagavatam is nourishment for the soul. It is nourishment for the intelligence. As Kaviraj Goswami says, Ei lila amrit bine khaye adi anna pane tabe bhaktera durbala jivan. Jare ka bindu pane utfullita tanu mane hase gaye koro enartane. If you are not reading the wonderful pastimes of Krishna, it is amrit. Khaye adi anna pane. Prasad to 3 baar le rahe hain. Tabe bhaktera durbala jivan, will become weak spiritually. Please drink this nectar, even 1 drop every day. Yare ka bindu pane utfullita tanu mane, you will be enlivened. You will be ecstatic. So try to set a quota of reading. At least 1 page, at least few verses. Before, if you can't get time whole day, at least before sleeping, just read 1 verse. Now we have another devotee, Anand Gopal Prabhu. He has made a whole app, and he has taken out a book on 5 sutras of developing new habits. So many techniques are available, but you have to just be determined, be prayerful, and work on it. Pray to the Lord and be honest to your prayers. That means if I'm praying that I want to read my Lord, then I should also plan in such a way that I get a chance to read. Endeavor attracts mercy. So plan and pray, and then Lord will show the way for sure. Be with devotees who are reading Bhagavatam. You can make some reading groups. That also is done by some devotees. So these are some of the things which we can. It all begins with sincere desire and prayers. Mahaprabhu will definitely reciprocate. It is all mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that we are getting this. Otherwise, it is not possible. Mahaprabhu himself would relish Bhagavatam with Gadadhar Pandit at Tota Gopinath. 100 times Prahlad Leela, Rat Charitra, 100 times Dhruva Charitra. So prayers are very powerful. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Prabhuji, one more question on this matter. Like, I made attempts twice to read the Bhagavatam. In 6 years ago, I started reading it, and I reached up to the second canto. And then due to certain reasons, I could not continue. So afterwards, last year again, I started from Canto 1, from the first
Don't do
chapter.
that. Don't do that. Many times devotees they do that. कि अभी
Yeah.
थर्ड कैंटो तक हो गया लेकिन बीच में 3 साल का ब्रेक आया फिर एक कैंटो 1 से शुरू करते हैं. Continue from where you stopped.
So because,
Anyways, you will not remember everything.
Yeah, that's the
मतलब
reason. Because I thought if I don't remember what I'd read, how do I continue again? So I started again.
anyways याद नहीं रहने वाला है प्रभु.
Okay.
Even if you read 10 times, not everything will be able to memorize. But just continue from where you stopped.
Okay.
At least you will get the satisfaction of reading the entire Bhagavatam, reading Chaitanya. अब चैतन्य चरितामृत कब पढ़ेंगे फिर?
ठीक है.
The Bhagavatam is taking another big time. Chaitanya Charitamrit, that is our heart. We are Gaudiya Vaishnava means Chaitanya Charitamrit. Gita is a pan-Vedic book. सब लोग पढ़ते हैं India में at least. Bhagavatam makes one a Vaishnava. We heard the last verse. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. But we are not just Vaishnavas, we are Gaudiya Vaishnava. तो Chaitanya Charitamrit कब पढ़ेंगे? Chaitanya Charitamrit is another nectar. मतलब we can just keep on reciting Chaitanya Charitamrit only. That is another nectar. So we should understand all these things. They are very, very powerful. What we have to do is just keep on reading. Consistency is very important. And if we somehow, for some reasons, we could not continue, कोई बात नहीं. Start wherever you left.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Okay, so thank you all the devotees for encouraging me and always being there. Because of all of your presence, I could continue and complete this. Otherwise, it would have been impossible. Actually, I got this inspiration for starting Bhagavatam from Radha Gopinath Prabhuji. Because he started this Bhagavat classes every day in Kolhapur. So after a few days of starting of this Adhik Mas, I saw that. So that's why I started little late. So it is all his mercy. So that's how we get inspirations to do some service. So very grateful to all the devotees. We very grateful to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord, for giving us this wonderful chance to practice devotional service and absorb our mind in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Hare Krishna, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.